talk about love, health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got it. Discuss your breakthroughs, national issues. This show will take you there, yeah. Taking it step by step, living.
Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. How are you all doing?
Getting stronger and living longer. Let's figure out the questions for ya. I need a little conversation. You need a little conversation.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. Happy Sunday. Listen, by now, y'all got to be sipping something.
Talk about it on the conversation. When you need a little motivation, life is better on the conversation.
We are getting motivated, inspired. We are getting just prepared and absolutely training our eyes on 2021.
Here with Shanique on the conversation, yeah. Here with Shanique on the conversation, yeah. Here with Shanique on the conversation, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to Sunday Sip and Chat. Of course, this is our season premiere, our first show for 2021. Let me just make sure I understand this whole, Zoom and that I'm on. I think I am. Absolutely. Yes, I am. And so good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon in Freeport. Good afternoon to you, Marcia Ware, Joylyn Henfield and Turks and Caicos. Big hello to you, Portia Stubbs. Hi, Michelle Monroe. Hello to Deborah Roll. Hello to Terry Pinda in North Eleuthera. Hello to Lindale Lewis. Good afternoon to you. Hello, Michelle Monroe. Hello, Glenda Miller. Hello to you. Let's just see, Eunice Woodside. Hi, let's see who else. Charlene Roll. Darlene in Atlanta. Hi, Darlene. Hello to Loretta Roberts. Hello to Michelle Monroe. Hello. More people, everybody. Yes, I Turks and Caicos. What you sipping? Pink Moscato. You know what? I have to get my Moscato on top for next Sunday because I got it, Joylyn. Certainly, of course, but I'm sipping on a nice green mixture that I normally kind of sort of do. Hello to you, Portia. Thank you, Portia. Thank you. Must thank for that. Cara Ellis, I tell you that. And of course, the song is Patrice Morel. Hi to Cyril Miller. Good afternoon to you. Lorena Gray, EJ Stewart, watching from Toronto, Canada. Big hello to you. Sky Summerchild. Hi. So I think I've said everybody was on already now. Hello to you all. Happy New Year. Please do us a huge favor. Number one, like the live stream right now. Like it, share it. Like it, share it in your WhatsApp groups, in your Facebook groups. Just share it for us, share it, tag some people in, because today, as we begin, even though we're sort of in the middle of January, yes, we are, it's still the beginning of the year. Many people are doing a number of things, 21-day fast, and just a number of things, still setting the tone for this year. We all know the year we came out of last year. A number of people are still sort of scrambling, wondering how this year is going to pan out, how they are going to show up this year. How are they going to be able to do that? Many people are still waiting for their jobs to call them back. Some people have been furloughed again. Some people, the job is saying it's up in the air. And so it's a lot happening. And then you find yourself in vicious cycles, vicious generational family cycles that you have said to yourself from 2020, from 2019, from 2018, and beyond, that you were going to change, you were going to break, but you find yourself repeatedly over and over again. It can be anything too. It can be the fact that, guess what, you have not been able to get on the job you wanted to, or you aspired to, begin the career you wanted to, go back to school, or maybe begin the new business. Whatever it is, the cycle just won't break. Well, today we are saying on Sunday Sip and Chat, as you all sip, enough is enough. In 2021, enough is enough. I'd like to introduce my guest today from Freeport. I'll start with her first. In Freeport, Grand Bahama, Rayette Spence. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Sunday Sip and Chat, Rayette. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Simone Bowe, right here in New Providence.
Hey, Shanique.
Hi. I love, now hold on. You obviously have the cycle that's been broken there, because I love the whole, like you on the beach somewhere, just really looking cute. Yeah.
Relax. Happy New Year, sweetheart.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year to Simone Bowe, and welcome, Simone. Happy New Year, of course, Christopher Roberts, and welcome to you. The three of you, of course, normally I ask what you're sipping, and I'm sipping on just a little green mixture here. What is it that you have, Rayette?
Well, you know the journey that I'm on now, right, Shanique? So
Yes.
in my Man of War Abaco cup, one of my favorite cups, all I'm doing is sipping on water. That's all we're doing.
Which is a good thing.
Same
Yes.
here. Water.
Water, Simone, I love that Fiji. Really, really nice. And Christopher, hey,
Hey, how y'all doing?
we are good. Are you sipping on anything?
Iced tea, pure,
A Long Island iced tea.
Unleaded.
undiluted, degenerated iced tea.
Oh, welcome
That
to
sounds like
Sunday.
Long Island iced tea.
I know, right? Welcome to Sunday Sip and Chat, everybody. By the way, as you come in, do share the live stream. Come in, share the live stream. And you know, guys, let's jump in. I love the three of you together because each of you, you've been on the conversation over the years, and you each have something so incredible to share. Really, really great. You do it on your own, and also when we come together, it is super impactful and powerful. And when we talk about 2021, particularly after a year like 2020, what comes to mind for you, Simone?
For me, it's been about reset. You know, it's everything it just came and it just turned the world upside down, and we just had to try to get right side up and feel our sea legs. You know, when you on a boat and you come back on
Yes.
land, you still feel like you on the water. I think that's
Yeah.
how 2020 feels, even coming into 2021. And so for me, it's just been about learning the lessons and coming out of it, doing something differently for 2021 for sure. Having to
Yeah.
leave some things behind and having to
Oh,
embrace
gosh.
some things.
Yes. And that's the
Yes.
thing. We have to be open to doing it differently, seeing it differently, and showing
Yeah.
up differently. Rayette, how
Mhm.
about you? Like in 2021, I mean, what is it that Simone said it's been all about the re? How about you?
Mhm. For me, Shanique, coming out of 2020 into 2021 has been rest.
That's important.
And my thing about rest is 2020 has showed us we gotta just go with the flow. Yes, it's okay to bring your plans and your visions and your dreams to the table, but you gotta be in a position to rest in whatever it is. Because 2020 showed us that, listen, you could bring whatever it is, and you can have all these plans and all these things going. One thing can switch you. So I came into 2021. Yes, I want to do the vision board and I want to do all that stuff, but I want to rest into whatever it is that God would have me to do and what God would have me to be. Rest in that and go with what his plans are for 2021. That's where I am.
So
I'm not getting all
sounds
flustered
to
and
me,
go
it
ahead.
sounds to me like trust really is what it is.
Trust.
Like I'm just trusting you, God. You have to do this. You do it.
Exactly. And not that we're not going to do the work, but I have to trust you so much and have so much faith that I'm going with your agenda in 2021. I'm going with what you say in 2021. I'm going with what your vision is for 2021. I'm not going to bring my vision to a vision board party. I'm going to bring your vision to the party and see how we're going to work it in 2021. I'm in a moment of rest.
And Christopher, how about you, sir?
Well, unlike Rayad, I rest so much over the last 10 months, I ready to hit the road. But I'm only messing. Listen though, something for me, Shanique, as I assess 2020 and 2021. If 2020 taught me nothing else, it taught me how to appreciate the moment.
Yeah.
And so I've come into this 2021 with this one thing, this one agenda. Whatever comes, whoever I encounter, whatever my plans are, I am going to be so involved in it that I don't miss the moment. Oftentimes, we get so caught up in planning for the event next week that we miss the moment of now.
This whole week, yeah.
We don't appreciate the people that are around us now. We're excited about the ones who are invited for next week. And we somehow take for granted the ones who are here with us in the rut. And then when something happens and they're gone, we'd be like, oh my God, if I knew that was going to be the last time that I saw him, I would have told him. Well, I've made up in my mind in 2021, I'm not going to have those kind of concerns no more. Because when I encounter my friends, when I get around my family, I'm not leaving without saying, I love you. I'm not leaving without making sure they know I love them. So if, God forbid, something were to happen next week, I'd weep, I'd cry, but it won't be with no regrets because I appreciated them when I had them. They knew I appreciated them. And so for me, that's what I am moving forward. And yeah, I got my plans. Yeah, I got my agenda. Yes, I got my goals. But primarily for me, 2021 and beyond, I am trying to live in the moment.
Well, as we live in the moment and reset, and sometimes and resting doesn't necessarily mean you're just sitting there, because the onus is on us. We will be held very much accountable to just sit there. And so as we do this, many of us find ourselves in a vicious cycle that must be broken in 2021, because what 2020 taught many of us is listen, you better have it together. You better have perhaps one or two streams of income outside of your mainstream. You would better begin to be creative and put yourself out there, and also show up in different ways, maybe for different environments. How do we begin breaking this cycle that many adults in their 30s and 40s have found themselves in repeatedly year after year for too long?
Well, I'll tell you, for me, Shanique, one of the things that I've been advising people, and you hear it all the time, oh, I can't wait for things to get back to norm. And I've been asking people, what if there is no returning to the norm as we knew it? What if everything now changes as it has changed? So you sitting down, waiting for normal to come and normally ain't come in. So what you gonna do? What's your plan? How do you adjust your life for this new norm? Because what if, Shanique, for the rest of our life, we have to wear mask?
My.
What if for the rest of our lives? No, of course I do too, but I'm just saying, what if that is our new norm?
Yeah, I agree.
While people are sitting down waiting for normal to come back, this may be it, y'all. So you've got to sit now where you are, and instead of planning your life looking at what was, you have to plan your life now projecting for what is to come and the possibility of what is to come.
Simone, how do we even jump into that? And some people are so stuck. Many Bahamians, we are mainly guilty of in this country of hating change, rejecting it, resisting it with everything we have. But Chris said something very important. Listen, what if you have to show up in the office, still looking as cute as you want to look, but with that mask on? You're going to have to go and move about with this mask on, but you were there saying, you know, we can see what happened in the middle of the year. Of course, listen, all of us are people of faith here, very optimistic, etc. And so we are believing for this to be done away with, but we also have to operate in reality in terms of, listen, it may take a minute.
Yeah, I think we have to acknowledge, especially when we resist change, we have to dig into ourselves. And you know, I always like to talk about being self-aware and reflecting, right? It's so important. You have to understand where you are. So you have to dig into, why do I have this resistance to what has already changed? Why, right? And a lot of us we build monuments around the things that we're accustomed to. And I always say that comfort zone is the enemy of success. Whenever you get comfortable is when you start to decline and you get stagnant. And so if you think there is no even what if, there's no more what if, things are not going back. There are certain things that I believe as human beings, we have to hold on to. I think we have to hold on to connecting with each other. We can't allow the lockdowns and the distancing to separate us as human beings. I think that's something that we have to be very intentional about, making sure that we continue to connect with each other. But as far as how this world is going to be operating, as far as masks and travel, this is like 9/11. Travel never went back to what it was prior to 9/11. 9/11 changed the way we travel, security protocols ever since. That's not going to change. So now COVID has come and it has changed health protocols and how we do business. If you're not into being cashless, you don't like to use online banking and all these other things, I'm going to be sorry for you. So one of the things that you have to do is to challenge
start
yourself.
learning.
Start learning.
Mhm.
Start getting comfortable, because it's not going back to paper and manual processes
And you go in and standing on the
standing
line
on the line
and you
and-
see how tedious that is. I mean,
Right.
when our banks, the lines on banks, they still outside the door. And the thing,
Yes.
and you would think that by now things would be different, but
We
you're
have a
right. So that
system.
you have to now, right? It shows that you have to now conform to online
You have
banking,
to shift
to
your
various
mind.
things, to paying your bills online.
That's right. I don't know the last day I've been in a bank, and it's simply because I don't want to stand on that line and wrapping around the building. So I go to the ATM. I do as much as I can from the ATM or from online banking. It's just is what it is. So you have to challenge it. If it's fair that is, you may be afraid of technology or whatever that may be, then you have to face that fear and take small actions. So if it's something that maybe you just don't understand, then you need to talk to people who are close to you. If you're embarrassed, just ask questions and let them help you. It's only a matter of mastering that unknown that you're not comfortable with at first. Anything that we are learning for the first time or that we're not comfortable with, it will feel shaky. But
But the
once
thing
you
is,
begin to
but-
do it over and over again, you will feel more comfortable and you come to a
Absolutely.
place of mastery, and then that'll become old news and you go on to something
Absolutely.
else.
Absolutely, but speak to us, the three of you, about the fact that as a people, we also have some misplaced stupid pride. We can't afford to be prideful and all the stuff
Right.
that comes with being Bahamian. What, like Simone said, you can't be afraid to ask.
Mhm.
It is
And
an
not just that,
idiocy.
Tiffany.
Yes.
If 2020 has not taught us anything else, we have to prioritize as a people.
Yep.
We have to get our priorities, what is important from what is not important. What do we
Yes.
need from what we do not need? That is one of the greatest lessons 2020 would have taught us. So you didn't get your creativity going. You didn't get, the extra paying thing. But now we have to sit down and figure out, do I need these things, or are these things important? And I think that's another thing that we have to do, prioritize.
No, it's very
Prioritize.
important. No, it's very important, because now is not enough. If you can afford it, fine, you're on a different level, you're doing something different.
Exactly.
But as we talk about breaking the cycle, and enough is enough to get to the level where we all need to be, because we can see you cannot trust on the fact that job can be there. Or this, but the thing is, the people who have made it and are making it are those who are creating, again, creativity, those who are
Yeah.
creating something new, something different, but something
Sadly.
that's needed. In fact, they have created a market for what it is that they have created.
Exactly.
That's right.
Right? How do you all, and speaking of enough is enough, why must we keep fighting? Why must we not give up after a year like 2020 and say, man, guess what? I am zapped. I just feel totally, I'm out of it, whatever. How can we develop that fight within? And why is it important to develop that fight?
Chini, before we go to that question, I want to quickly run back to what Rayette just said. Sadly for me, Rayette, I don't think we've learned as a people. We've not learned. And you know why I say that? When I look at this Christmas just passed, that the year that we went through, and yet the malls and the side streets were still crowded with people buying unnecessary toys and all this other crap for their children so they could have a good Christmas. I said to my cousin when she was fussing about going to the mall because she want to get something for her son, I said, let me tell you something. His Christmas gift was every time you were able to pay the light bill this year. His Christmas gift was every time you were able to go to the shop and put food on the table for him to eat. His Christmas gift was every time he needed something, you were able to supply it for him. Don't go out there spending his money. But I don't think, I don't know where the Bahamians got the money from. All that money they was getting from the various giveaways, they must was stashing them up for Christmas.
Not only did they go shopping at the malls and the roadside, like you said, Chris, many traveled.
Yes.
And I'm talking about those who kind of scrap to travel. Why is it that we as a people, and I love the point right there, if the other two can chime in on this, why can't we seem to just sacrifice for the bigger picture? And see, this is a part of the cycle we find ourselves in. And the vicious cycle in the Bahamas is this: we do the foolishness, we go spend the money. Oh no, Johnny gotta have his little bicycle or his little whatever. And then we come to you, Rayette, because I need. Why is it that we cannot?
2 days.
What would you say, Chris?
The bicycle only can last 2 days because he can break that up after 2 days. So cheaper you to take that money and throw in the garbage.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is around habit and socialization, you know.
But Simone, you were saying habit. You mean a whole year went by, that same way, the one last year, where that year taught the world a lesson, and you still have that habit?
Yes, because guess what? One of the things that I learned when I was studying change theory, one of the theories says that unless the desire for the new thing is greater than the discomfort of where you are, you will never change. Unless the desire for the new thing is greater than the discomfort of where you are, you will never change. So we have come so familiar and comfortable with our dysfunctional habits, behaviors, and patterns in this country that we call it who we are.
Yes.
Well, that's just how we are. That's
just how we are. That's how we do. We call it Bahamian culture, whatever we want to call it. But we have adopted a lot of dysfunctional mindsets and patterns and behaviors and habits that we must let go of, and we need to reshape what we want to look at. All of my friends on this panel here are educators, and we have all seen dysfunctional patterns and habits that we call Bahamian culture, where we want to beat the stuffing out of our children. We want to shout at them. We don't want to listen to them. We feel that, like Chris is saying, you just buy stuff, you just feed them, you clothe them, and we call it parenting.
Right.
That's not all that parenting is.
That's not parenting. No.
And then we go above and beyond our means, and we call it treating ourselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Borrowing,
we call it
Peter to pay
ourselves.
Paul.
Because we deserve this.
Yeah,
I deserve this. What did you do to treat yourself? What milestone did you meet to treat yourself? And I
like
think that is a huge problem. And then, like Simone talked about education, and we're perpetuating these cycles in our children.
Yes.
That is what's getting to me. We keep perpetuating these cycles, and we keep letting them and making them believe that worth is tied into things.
Correct.
Yes.
And that is the problem with that's the problem with our society. The more I have, the better I am. And that is not true.
And it comes from a broken place.
And I think that is where the cycle is, and that is what needs to be broken. That's why what you said just now, Simone, is so powerful. And there's no cycle that's going to be broken until we say, I've had enough.
Enough is enough.
I don't want to be borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
No.
I don't want to be living from paycheck to paycheck. If I get fired today, I'm in trouble.
I don't want to live my life unhappy.
Unhappy. These are all things that we could put. It's a decision.
It's a decision you have to make.
One decision away.
Yeah, and it's a tough decision. It's going to take you every day it's going to be different, but you have to make it.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to Sunday Sip and Chat. Of course, this is the season premiere for Sunday Sip and Chat. Today, We are having a real conversation on Sip and Chat, the kind of conversation that talks about breaking cycles. 2021, after a year like 2020, what are you doing differently? How are you breaking the cycle of bad habits, of generational curses, of generation? Everybody in the family has done the same thing. Nobody in the family has ever gone beyond a certain point. Everybody in the family looks around, and just like you heard Rayette, Simone, Christopher describe, everyone in the family spends just carelessly, just because they have it at the time, or perhaps they don't even have it. Again, that Bahamian saying, robbing Peter to pay Paul or enjoy on Peter's behalf when you know Peter is lacking, but oh no, I have to treat myself. I got to get this thing. I have to do this or do the next thing. It is something that is right now showing up and hurting our society. And many people are going around now entitled, figuring they're entitled to your stuff, your hard work, because of the cycles they refuse to face and break. Let's get to one or two comments. By the way, welcome to the show, everybody who is streaming. Happy to have you streaming. Please do share the live stream. Share the live stream, tag some people in here, y'all. Let's get ourselves right in 2021, because if you listen to a lot of people, and if you believe, and if you have faith and you're hopeful, you know that things will be better. But understand this, it will not be better if you show up the same way, if you show up doing the same things, if you show up with the same habits. And so today, this is what we're talking about. But let's get to one or two comments first. Ganno Davis Hepburn says this, and I want you all to respond to it. Listen to this. Respectfully, the pastors still asked for offering, right? So the people did a bit of shopping. I agree. Some things were not necessary. But come on, let's not be biased. She said, listen, if pastors up and down talking about soda seed and get this miracle at a time like this, when half of the world's population perhaps is furloughed, not working, scratching their head, etc. Well, why can't people take a load off, de-stress, by buying a few things?
I'm watching a number of your watchers and their comments. One or two in particular seem to have a stick up their backside concerning pastors, and I'm not going to give it.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see the others.
I'm not going to give it much of attention, but since you read this one, let me put my piece on this. For all those who have concerns about pastors still asking for offering or whatever, the same thing applies for me. The same balance that I expect you as a parent to put on your money and your finances when it comes to your children and buying them Christmas gifts and all these toys after coming through a rough year is the same balance I expect you to put on your money when it comes to the pastor or the prophet or the prophetess or whomever asking for your money.
Amen.
Because he carries the name, and I may get some flack for this, but too bad, because he carries the name or prophet or pastor or preacher doesn't necessarily mean that he has your best interest at heart when it comes to you or your money. So you have to be prudent with your money. I'm not saying that you don't exercise faith, because in giving your offering and paying your tithe comes about because of a relationship with God, not the preacher, not the pastor. A relationship with God. You understand the principles of giving. You understand the blessing that is involved in the giving. And regardless to what the pastor does with the money, you understand that when you give that, you're not giving it to the church or the pastor. You're giving it because of your understanding of scripture.
That's right.
So let's get that clear. And so the same degree of prudence and wisdom that I expect you to operate with your money comes to your children. And I see some comments. I am not suggesting that you did not go out and buy some stuff. I am saying I believe there were a lot of unnecessary stuff that happened during the Christmas, that from people who struggled the whole year. But because they felt they needed to give their child something, you went out there and bought something. Man, teach that child that the gift, every day you open your eye, that's your gift from under the tree called Calvary.
Wow, ladies, you want to jump in before I go to another comment?
for me, Shanika, talking about the seed and the tithe and all that into the pastor's thing, this is very interesting because I pulled up today in my driveway after paying my tithe and my offering and having a conversation with a young man yesterday, someone talking about the same thing, this tithe and offering thing. And the Holy Spirit to me, this is my relationship with God. I'm not defending it. The seed speaks for itself. I'm not defending it anymore, Shanique. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do what I have to do, and you will watch the seed defend itself in my life. So if that's what you want to do, and like Chris said, you have to be prudent about which soil you're sowing your money into. You got to be careful with that. But the seed will speak for itself. We don't even have to run on with that no more.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
what you got to do with your money. I'm going to do what I need to do with my money. Wherever you want to, whatever soil you want to sow your money into, you go on and do that. And I will sow what I feel the good soil.
You put yours in the number house and I put mine in the church. Who gonna get a greater return eternally?
The seed will speak for itself.
The seed will speak. Very true. Lindale Lewis says, someone traveling to go shopping just asked me for food. Man, hold on, wait. Someone traveling to go shopping just asked me for food. So I said, I can't afford to travel now. Priorities still in the wrong place. You see, that is what we're talking about. Cycles.
Shanique, let me give you this example by her saying that. There was a lady who asked one of my friends to borrow $300. This is a true story, right? So my friend said to her, is your light off? She said, no. She said, do you need food? She said, no. She said, well, I don't have the $300. So she said, does your husband have it? So she said, well, me and my husband, we work as a team. So if that's my $300, that's her $300. So later down in the week, she asked her, she said, so did you get straight with what you wanted? She said, I needed to clear some stuff that I got on.
Girl, I did this order thanks on Macy's. I had some Macy's stuff come in. It was $300. That's what it was. In case you all didn't know. Ali could, no, but that's, see, and that is what we're saying. That is where a lot of our people, we continue to do that. And we see nothing wrong with it, number one. And number two, we don't realize the world around us, not is changing, has changed. When are you going to catch up and break the cycle so that you can be in where this new modus operandi is right now? When are you going to stop? It's important. It's urgent that we all do this at whichever level we find ourselves.
Until people realize that it's a problem, then they're not going to stop. And so nobody is saying that you can't enjoy yourself, you can't take care of yourself, you can't want to have nice things for your family, or you want, people to feel good in a year that was very difficult. Nobody is saying that, but people are saying that just challenge your why. It's your why. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you want to compare yourself to other people, that you're looking at what they are doing?
Show up to the neighbors.
We can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
We can't keep comparing.
And in 2021 and /2020, 2021, people still figure they showing off to the neighbors.
It's not about that anymore. It's not about that anymore. I think if anything this year has taught us is that we on our own here, we trying to connect and stay connected with our friends and relationships and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's about your journey. It's about your life and where you want to see yourself and your family ending up. And so if you're making decisions based on decisions that were made sometimes before you were even born, sometimes we are continuing to reenact things that our parents have done, things that our grandparents have done without question. And we have to challenge some of these habits and behaviors. We have to.
When we talk about this cycle, my mind goes right now, and as Simone is saying, following what our parents did. You remember back in the day, we don't care what was happening. Christmas, you gotta change your furniture. You gotta paint the house.
Paint the house, change everything, buy a new towel.
Man, you just buy this stuff last Christmas, but because it's Christmas and you want new stuff. I have a friend right now who practically does that. Like every 2 years, she paints the outside of the house. And she, if you pull up to her yard, you'll be like, wow, this is really a nice house. Go inside, it empty, because she can't afford to put nothing in it, because she's so concerned about making sure the outside looks good. So when people look at the house, they can talk good. I'm like, girl, you spending more money for the other people to see the outside than to spend the money for you to enjoy the inside. I can't tell you for real what I just tell her, but you know, we on Facebook. But
we know you,
yeah.
Chris, so we know it ain't nothing too much.
Yeah.
I want to address that, what you said right there, simply because that is a national problem that we
Yes,
have.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So it stems from something that's greater than just what is in our families. Don't we see it in our country where we think we could slap paint on a building? We could put up a new building. We could change offices and put people in these brand new buildings, brand new furniture and all that on the inside.
Yep.
But systemically, we have not made any change. We still have poor processes. We still have not modernized what we do. We still are having processes that frustrate people. We have not changed. All we have changed is the color of the paint on the outside of the building.
And from
We
one year
have
to the
not
next,
changed how we think.
No, we haven't. And Simone, that is the problem right there. We have not grown from independence. The real work happened in the 70s and 80s. From the 70s and 80s. And after that, the work stopped. After that, the people stopped thinking. After that, we started going in cycles. After that, we stopped dreaming and growing a nation. Now, this wasn't even supposed to be a nation conversation. This was really, we have groomed people, you all, from the 80s to today, just as you said, to be helpless, to be dependent, to be entitled, and to continue in cycles and destructive cycles.
But the truth is, Shanique, while it was not intended to be a nation's conversation, the truth is we're just opening it up to where it needs to be addressed. Because until we begin to see what it is we're talking about right now in terms of breaking the cycle, there's so much things in the national consciousness of our country that needs to be broken and adjusted and thrown away. And when we begin to see those things in play, it's going to begin to stream down what the Bible says, that the oil flows from the head down to the skirt, to the garments. And so when we begin to see these things happening, we begin to make those changes in our homes and then in our individual lives, and then our children start to make the difference. But when as a nation, we have these systemic viruses that are released upon us as the people almost every day and every new cycle of elections. Because we vote in and vote out the same mentalities. Lord Jesus, how I get here. Anyway, but
you know something though, and everything that we're saying is coming back to the same thing, what we want. We have to decide what it is that we want, and we have to want more. We have to want better. The country is not going to change if we don't, individuals, want and go after and know that we deserve it. It's not going to change in our families until we decide that we deserve better, that we want better. It's not going to change in our neighborhoods until we decide that we want better. Nothing is going to change. And this is a cycle. Us talking about this year after year after year. I could tell a person, Shanique, that you don't need to spend that $50 on this thing. But if you can't see that you can invest that $50 and get more, it's nothing that I could say to you. No. You have to want more. You have to want more. Yes. You have to want more that you're not in the same cycles of relationships. You have to want more that you're not in the same cycles of your health. You have to want more.
You have to want more. Very true. Because
and like we're talking about cycles and not just money. I lost my sister in February. I don't want to cry. From colon cancer. My dad died from colon cancer. Something in me said, listen, Raya, you could break this cycle or you could repeat it. what you gonna do? I want crack coke every day. I want to eat Burger King every day. I want to eat Kentucky. I want more for my life. You got to want more. You got to see yourself better. Else these cycles will repeat and we'll talk till we blue in the face. I'm not talking no more. Either you want it or you don't. If you want it, you will make the sacrifices to get it. If you don't want it, then be on your merry way. Spend every dollar. Don't ask me for nothing. Because if I out here sacrificing, I out here investing, and I out here having delayed gratification, you don't get mad at me when I reach what I want. And that's another thing. Then you won't get angry with me.
Oh,
When
that's the
I make
Bahamian way.
sacrifices.
But that's the Bahamian
I
way,
make the
Reyes.
sacrifices.
No.
I know
The Bahamian way is this. I get vexed at you because you sacrificed, you saved, you invested, you denied yourself all those things you
Okay.
just said, and then
you
now,
won't give it to me.
and now they vexed at you. Now,
Okay.
yes, of course,
You mad
it don't.
at me because now I think I'm better than you.
Well, guess what, y'all? When we come back after this break, we have one break on Sunday Sip and Chat. Why should we surround ourselves to, again, change our mindset, to decide, Red, you went at something huge. We ain't just talking money, we talking everything, a whole entire life. You and I shared sometime last week, a week before, when I said 2021 is for whole body health.
Yes.
Whole body health, right? So that is
Mind,
not
body,
just
soul.
money, that's health, everything. You made a huge step. You say, wait a minute. This is something I've noticed now with 2 members of my family.
Yes.
I have to put the brakes on. How
Yes.
do you put the brakes on and shift, you all? When we come back, how do you shift to begin a new pattern in your life? Therefore, as well, by extension, the country. We can take a break and come back with more Sunday Sip and Chat right after this.
Get ready. It's the sound of rain. Living Waters Kingdom Ministries presents Fresh Rain Revival 2021. You don't want to miss 3 days of anointed, power-packed services as Apostle Raymond Wells delivers an on-time word to position the saints for rain in 2021. Join us January 19th, 20th, and 21st, 12 p.m. at Living Waters Kingdom Ministries, Warren Street. You don't want to miss the rain.
Therapeutic Natural Health Spa. Take the stress away. Try one of our Swedish massages, have a facial, or get a detox. A colonic will get you started for a detoxification or a cleanse. Come and speak with one of our professionals today. We are located on 7th Terrace, West Centerville, or call us at 393-1126. That's Therapeutic Natural Health Spa, the place to relax your mind, body, and soul.
Maybe it's for the thrill, or the scenery, or maybe you do it for the speed, or maybe it's for the baby. It might just be for the next stop, or even for the beautiful moments. Whatever your reason for driving, we'll be there to keep you going. Atura Auto, servicing your vehicle at a price that keeps your pockets happy. Call us today.
Tired of yo-yo diets that make you rebound weight, double what you lost? Get ready to embrace a lifestyle change backed by science with Bodies by Clark. My focus is on you, the total person. Together, we'll get results in and out of the gym. Not only will you manage your weight, but I'll teach you to adopt healthy, nutritious eating and exercise habits that will sculpt your body, strengthen your muscles, and enable you to live your best life. Bodies by Clark, backed by science with none of the BS. Call 242-812 0829 for your free consultation.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sunday Sip and Chat. Today, we are talking about breaking cycles, starting new trends and traditions. In essence, stopping what's been happening in your family for decades. For decades. How do you change that? What is it that you do? Today, my special guests are Rayette Spence in Grand Bahama, Simone Bowe here in New Providence, Christopher Roberts here in New Providence. I thank each of you very, very much. Big hello to the social media audience. Thank you all so much for streaming live today. Please do share the live stream. Let me see if I can get to a few more comments before we talk about how do we shift? How do we do that? Rayette, you decided January 2021, you shifting for real, because you know you have a real reason to. Maybe that's what we need. We need to understand that, guess what? What's your why? Why is it that you totally need to fight to change the trajectory of your life? We're going to get to that in a second. Welcome back to the live feed. Thank you very much, Kara. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Share the video, share the live stream, everybody. Lindale says, government can take care of us, but who is the government? But who is the government is the question. We are very entitled, and it's a shame. No, but we are. We have become so different than our forefathers designed us to be. Like I said, the Bahamians of the 70s and 80s were extremely industrious, very creative, dreamers, hard, even if they were fishermen or farmers or whatever, or they didn't have to be academics. They just regular hard-working Bahamians, straw vendors who went and did exceptional for their families with what they had where they were, and now they are parents to some of the leaders in our country today. But the thing is, we have stopped. We've become lazy and entitled, and maybe it's been bred, it's been encouraged, but you need to stop it because you could see it gets you nowhere. It hurts you. Here is Eunice Woodside. We have so many jealous people in the world. Man, Eunice, that's a different show. That show right there, you look like she's trying to bring a sermon on a Sunday. That's how it looks to me. How about that alliteration? A sermon on a Sunday. And so Eunice, you're gonna have to keep that for next week, because sis, that right there is a whole sermon. Find the scripture and come back next Sip and Chat. Let's talk about that one. You know, as we, Simone, I know you have to wrap up early. So let's start with you. What steps can we take to shift and break this cycle? Rayette will share what it is she is doing. She already told us why, but how do we do that, Simone?
Yes, as I mentioned, I think I responded to someone in the chat about that. I think we have to start with knowing our why. What is our purpose? What is it that I'm doing this for? What is my higher calling? This will keep us out of comparison and copycatting, yes, right? Doing just because Rayette put up a chicken shack means that I need to go 100 feet down the road and put up another chicken shack.
Yes.
Yep.
She call it Rayettes, I call it Bayettes. And we, you know, I mean, like, come on, man. We can do better than this.
That's what we do, yes.
That's what we do, right? Yes. And so we have to know what it is that we're called to do. What is the calling? And then find your uniqueness. Find your uniqueness. Find your difference. Your strength is in your difference. Mm-hmm. Not trying to be the same.
No.
And that's what keeps us in our own lane. Figure out what you are here on this earth to contribute, how you can go about it, and then take small steps. A lot of us get stuck in, again, the cycles, or we get stuck in overthinking and cycles of self-sabotage, right? And so
that right there is real. No, self-sabotage is absolutely real.
Yes. And so you have to, once you get again from that place of self-awareness where now you understand what's happening, then you now create the strategies to go against that. Some of it is cycles, some of it is habits, some of it is personality. I was just sharing with someone the other day, like my personality, I'm a creative. And I'm also a very like a short attention span type person, which is why I love teaching, but I never loved teaching in a system. Because for me, the school year just dragged on and on and on. So I tried to be an exciting teacher, so I didn't get bored. So I know myself. I know that I get distracted by the next thing. So I have to strengthen myself by doing things to focus. I use reminders in my phone. I make to-do lists. I have people to keep me accountable, right? So I create the structure around my life to make me make better choices. But at the end of the day, it should come from a place of self-love, not self-care now, spending the money on nails and hair and all of that stuff. Self-love. I am making choices that uphold me as a person. I am choosing myself. I am creating boundaries. I am understanding my value, as Rayette said, my worth, and I am making decisions based on that. And not that I'm better than anybody either.
No.
Because when you love yourself well, you're able to love others equally as well.
Absolutely, you absolutely, and that is why, Simone, I started Talk It Out, a 15-minute segment on just to let people know that we all have our own thing. Let's be busy doing that. Let's stay focused doing that. And man, we can be creative and we can create something our own. I don't have to go and copy what you are doing, Simone or Rayette or Chris. I don't have to do what it is you're doing, because we each have something incredible to offer to the Bahamas, to the world. You know, I heard someone just say today how a Bahamian lady did something online and she had more, she has more customers from abroad signing up than locally. My thing is, we each have that thing. Go and massage it. Go and try and sort of tweak it and put it out there to the world.
And don't limit
them
yourself.
to you. Don't
limit yourself to this immediate circle. The world literally is our
2020
oyster.
taught us that too. Yes.
2020, Simone, I thank you very much, because I know you do have to slip out right now. Of course, looking forward to seeing you for many more sip and chats or just regular conversations.
Yes.
You have a successful event that you're having at 5 o'clock.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good to see you all, Rayette and Chris.
Bye, Simone.
Bye.
Bye.
Kizzy Aisha Newton says, in order to shift, we have to accept that we have a problem first, and then change is a must after that. Brendaline Wilson says, they took pride. I wish I had seen her initial comment, because I know that came from perhaps another comment. Sandra Fatal says, we have come to a place where we have the mental of, I can live my life any kind of way, and when I fall on hard times, the government will step in. Sandra, that's the mindset is the government or you will step in. That's what people do. They don't just government. They figure you owe them something as well. As you heard us say, Brendaline says, our individual space is our community. Absolutely. Gano Davis says, that boy Gano Davis, they sure did run that whole 99-cent breakfast out of town. Eh? You all remember that? She says the 99-cent breakfast is a good example. Look how many people delivering food. I'm finding the difference. Someone will come and copy it. Nassau is small. I'm just saying my uniqueness may be making candles. Everyone is making candles and soap now, but you could make yours. You could still tweak your candles and soap. And I'm not saying that's your thing. But you're right. And when you start making it and they see you making a good buck, then somebody can come and they can just cheapen that out and go and make that candle and soap as well. See, that is why it breaking a cycle and getting sometimes quiet in your own space forces you to be creative. It's just a natural occurrence that you don't have to go and try create what Rayette created or Chris or Simone. You can do what it is that you do so well that nobody else does like you. Sabrina Fowler says, stop being a copycat, not knowing how the neighbor got their stuff. True. Aisha, hello to you, Aisha Claire. If you mind the naysayers and still care for the opinions of people, you will continue to be stuck. Dream big, even if you have to believe alone. Keep pushing and know that you are the greatest, you are your greatest enemy. Move out of your own way. Greatness is in all of us. Just do it. Kizzy says, you can break cycles through prayer, fasting, and walking in obedience to the instructions of God's word. We need more of God. Well, we certainly, that's prominent, particularly now. Glenda Miller says, we've become too dependent on the government. That's why the people think the way they think. And that's true. And so how we expect the government to act and the elected officials to act when we're so dependent on them. They kings, man. Because why? You know, please, massa, give me something, you know? But Rayette and then Chris, you know, steps we can take to break the cycle, whether it's the cycle of reclaiming your health, which is possible, guys. I certainly this year will do more talks on that. whether it's starting something where you begin to change your where you are financially and what your financial story has been, or your relationships, or whatever it is.
One of the things, Shanique, I think what we have to do, and we've been reiterating that all day, we have to stop comparing. I have been on this health journey for a long time now. It's been successful, then you jump off the bandwagon, then you go back on. It's successful, and you keep doing it. First of all, you compare yourself to other people. Oh, she lost all that weight, but I'm discouraged. I don't want to do it now. So we watch people's progress. We watch people's progress, and then we get intimidated by it. What we have to do is we have to take our small steps, even in our finances. You don't have to save $1,000 every week. Save the change. Save $1. It's about creating habits. That's what it is, creating habits. And so for me, as far as my health journey is concerned, you know that we're all in a group. And I could see people out there doing 10,000 steps and 11,000 steps. I'm not trying to do them. I do what I can do. So yesterday I walked 5 miles. I didn't run. I didn't do all, I did 5 miles, and I celebrated that victory.
Yep.
We have to celebrate
because you're getting the small victories, but you're getting it in, you're getting it done. Cara, we can't hear you. Rhea, can you hear me?
Don't compare yourself. Okay. I remember last year, sometime I told my husband, no, this year, I told my husband, I said, babe, people out here losing weight for real, you know. Like I see people losing, this thing is possible. And so for me, that was not to compare myself, but I took that and I kind of boosted myself, and I run your own race. So I'm running my own race now. And again, what is my why? It's not to fit into the halter top. It's not to fit into the body riders. All of that is nice and good. You want to look nice and all that. But the end of the day, my why is because all of the things that I know that I've been promised by God, I want to see them.
Yeah, that's important.
And I want to be healthy getting to them. Yes.
To enjoy it.
I want to live a healthy life. So that's some of the things that we can do. Know your why, run your own race, stop comparing, and for God's sake, celebrate the small and the large victories.
Absolutely. Chris?
Certainly agree with everything that Rayette would have said. My mind goes back to a story I heard some while back, and I constantly recap the story. It's of a cat sitting by the back door. Every time somebody opens the back door, the cat gets mashed. When the cat gets mashed, the cat screams out, meow! But the cat wouldn't move. Somebody comes again, opens the door, masks the cat screams out, he wouldn't move. This cycle keeps going on all day. Finally, somebody asked the owner of the cat, why you think this cat won't move from this door getting mashed? And the owner very simply said, because he ain't tired getting mashed. When life's situations bring you to that point where you are tired getting mashed,
come on,
you will move.
Yes.
Until such time, you're going to stay right there and you're going to get mashed up. So my question to you is, whatever you are facing, whatever you are dealing with, whether it is your weight, whether it is a situation on your job, whether it is a relationship, whether it is with your spouse, are you tired yet? When you get tired, you're going to make that decision to move. Secondly, I'm putting some thoughts together to write a book. And it comes from this trend of thought, and we've all heard it, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? So I'm asking the question, why lemonade? Why lemonade? When you think about it, if life gives you lemons, there are so many other things you can
Yeah,
make
many things you can
with
make.
lemons, not necessarily lemonade. See, it is my contention that when you respond to what life tells you to make, then you're still in the confines and the control of life.
Mhm.
You don't have to make lemonade. What open your mind. Even when we talk about thinking outside of the box, don't you realize that you've now created the outside of the box has become your new boundary?
Yeah.
Why does there have to be a box at all? So the point that I'm trying to make here is you've got to find what works for you. You can't do it the way somebody else does it. Let me show you how simple it is understanding our differences. Do you realize that the deodorant that works for Rayot may not work for Shanique?
Absolutely.
Do you realize that the body spray or the hair glow that works on one don't necessarily work on the other? Do you realize that the diet that worked for your sister ain't necessarily gonna work for you? You have to find that thing that works for you. We're made differently. There are certain deodorant, if I put it on, it'll give me bump under my arm. I know what works for me. And so I have to use, and that's where we have to get to that place where we have to find what works for us. And finally, for me, if you're gonna make that shift, I have come to find out one thing, my friend. If you're gonna get anywhere in life, the first thing you gotta do is get delivered from people.
My.
There are too many people sitting down, waiting or refusing to make a move because of what people gonna say or how people gonna feel or what people gonna think. Listen to me, whether you do it or not, they gonna say, think or feel anyhow. So get up and do what you have to do and stop allowing people to dictate your life. If you want a diet, go on a diet. Find the one that works for you. But my advice to you is, don't just do a diet to lose weight.
Yes.
The lose weight is the byproduct.
Yes.
Do it to be healthy.
To be healthy.
Whether you lose the weight or not, because I know some big people healthier than small people. I know some small people who got diabetes and some big people ain't got it. Well, I ain't one of them big people. I got it, but hey, I'm dealing with it, and I purpose to deal with it. I purpose to deal with it. Shanique, let me tell you something. I during this COVID time, every time I pass the fridge called my name, and my grandmother.
And did you answer though?
My grandmother tell me when people call your name, you don't be disrespectful. You answer. So every time the fridge called my name, I answer. And so all that weight that I lost.
All that weight you lost.
All was in the fridge and came back. But I've made up in my mind, not because of nobody else, but because of me. Because I've come to understand that we say all the time that eating healthy is expensive. But can I tell you, like a doctor told me, eating healthy costs less than trying to get well.
You bet right. It surely does. And I'm happy you said that, Chris. And I think what I did in 2017/2018, I need to start again. And that is a health conversation. And maybe I need to bring some of you all on. It needs to happen because our people must understand that eating healthy may be expensive, as you say, because I tell you these what they call again, meal at the fast food restaurants, meal combos or something.
Yes.
They are super, but yeah, they are very expensive. They don't cost $5 no more. So I don't know how to pay for one of them. You could go get some greens from the store. That's all I have to say, or fruit. But listen, I thank you all so much. I look forward to very, very soon picking up another topic or even just continuing from here, because these are conversations and topics we need this entire year to keep us on track, to keep us reminded, and certainly, of course, to keep us committed to changing ourselves. Because as you said, Rayette, we touched on the nation for a minute and our habits nationally. It ain't going to change until each of us individually decide to be someone different than who we used to be. And oh, this Bahamians, this how Bahamians go to see it. It's how he is. That's who he is.
Mindset.
No, that is ugly. And we need to change it because it's only hurting us as a people.
Yes.
And so I thank you all very much, Rayette Spence. I thank you, Simone Bowe, and I also thank you, Christopher Roberts. Everybody, thank you so much for streaming live today. You guys have been incredible. Thank you for your comments. You all have been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Cara Ellis, thank you so much for being the lady behind the controls and making it all happen today. Thank you all so much, guys. See you tomorrow for Hot Topics Monday. Meantime, have a beautiful afternoon. God bless, and see you tomorrow.
I need a little conversation. You need a little conversation. We can go far with the conversation. Here with Shanique on the conversation.